You will stop your binge eating when you stop believing that there is a magical solution and take action on the tools that you already know you just need to implement. You know what to do. Whether you know it or not, you know for the most part what to do, right? You know that you shouldn't be giving into these strong urges. You know that you need to honor your cravings. You know you need to start having satisfying meals, right? You know that you need to rewire your brain out of these habitual cycles because you know binge eating is a habit. You know you got to change your thoughts around food so that you stop seeing food as good versus bad. You know you need to give yourself more grace and self-compassion, right? Because you know that beating yourself up just literally creates more self-sabotage. You know the importance of being kind and compassionate towards yourself, especially on this journey. You know you need to be patient and trust the process. You know you need to start owning your food choices and forget about, what other people are saying about how much you're eating or what you're eating. You know that you need to allow yourself to enjoy all foods without guilt, without judgment, without beating yourself up. You know this. Many, 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 many people know this. And I talk about this all the time. I talk about this all the time. But why does everyone not do it? Like, why do some people do it and some people not? Why do some people conquer binge eating and some people don't? Why do some people take action on the tools and transform their relationship with food and some people don't? This has to do with your mindset. This has to do with your beliefs about your ability to conquer binge eating. When you believe, I've been talking about this a lot, because it's so important. When you believe that you are somebody who can conquer binge eating, you take action. When you have a wobbly self-belief, this is where self-sabotage happens. You can have a few good days with food and then you binge. This is when you can not give in to your binge urges maybe for 1 day or 2 days, but then sabotage and have another binge. Why is it that you know what to do but don't always do it? There's a wobbly self-belief. There's limiting beliefs. There's fear. There's doubt. On my journey, I started learning what to do. And I started understanding how, through repeated action of continuing to give into my binge urges, I've wired this habit into my brain. And it made logical sense. It made so much sense. And I'm like, wow, like it's good to know that it's a habit and I'm not broken. Like it's just simply a habit in the brain. And so I started understanding, like, if you don't give into your binge urges, your urges are going to become less intense. And the more times that you don't give into your urges, the weaker the urge is going to become. And therefore, you keep continuing this process, and then you're not going to feel the urge to binge anymore. And I was like, that makes so much sense. And that's so exciting. But like, okay, so I feel this urge and I logically know that I should not give in, but why am I still giving in? And yes, it was uncomfortable, but there was something more. There was something deeper. Maybe you could relate to this, where maybe you don't give in to your binge. Maybe you haven't binged in a few days. And then all of a sudden you're like, no, this is too good to be true. This isn't who I am. There's limiting beliefs floating around, like, oh, well, maybe you just got lucky. Well, whatever, you're just going to probably binge tomorrow. Well, you're going to that social event next week, so like it's not going to last long. All of these thoughts, all these limiting beliefs. And I recognized that there were a few limiting beliefs that were in my brain at the time. Maybe I can't conquer. I don't know. I had this identity of like, I'm a binge eater. So and if you have this identity, it's like, you could literally be doing so good with your food and not even binging. And then you go and you sabotage because you believe that that's who you are. I see this time and time and time again. If you have this belief of like, no, but everything I've tried doesn't work, well, then you're going to keep sabotaging. I had a love-hate relationship with food and binging, and I had to work through that. It was a mindset piece because I hated binge eating and I liked it at the same time. And I was like, do I even want to give this up? And yes, I wanted to give it up, but I needed to shift my perspective even about like losing binge eating. I wasn't losing anything. I was gaining my life back. Like it was these small little, well, I say small, they're big shifts that I needed to make. I knew what to do, but I needed to up-level my self-belief. I needed to let go of any limiting beliefs. I needed to work on my identity. I needed to get out of the all or nothing mentality. How many of you guys have the all or nothing mentality? The perfectionist mindset. If I ate something bad or off limits, my whole day would be ruined. I'm like, might as well just binge. Might as well not even actually work out. You know, I couldn't get in my morning routine this morning. So like, there's literally not even a point in doing my nighttime routine. Well, I went out for lunch today and like that was spontaneous and like that wasn't supposed to happen. So the meal that I prepared for dinner, well, I'm not even gonna bother eating that. Like I'm just gonna go home and binge. This has to do with your mindset. Limiting beliefs that need to be shifted. You know what to do, right? You know you shouldn't give in to your urges. You know that you should honor your cravings. You know you need to be more confident with your food choices. You know you got to release your food rules, but why does not everyone do it? Because there's fear, there's doubt, there's limiting beliefs. Why is it that you can have a few good days with food where you don't binge and then you binge? It has everything to do with your beliefs. Well, I'm not consistent. Well, I'm a sabotager. Well, I'm a binge eater. You know what to do. And now the next step is up-leveling your self-belief that conquering binge eating is possible for you, because it is 100% possible for you. But when you have belief, you take action. You don't sabotage anymore. When you have belief, you don't get into the screw it mentality. When you have belief, you don't have the perfectionist mindset. When you have belief, you show up, you utilize the tools, you take action, and your relationship with food starts to transform. I've worked with so many clients at this point, and the people that I see conquering, they have massive self-belief. They are people who show up for themselves. They take action, and they're able to do that because of the self-belief. They work on their mindset. They're willing to change their thoughts. They're willing to change how they're speaking to themselves. They're willing to shift their beliefs. There is literally no magic solution to ending binge eating, because if there was, everyone would be binge free. But it's this. The quote unquote magic solution is believing in yourself, taking action every single day, to implement the tools, to rewire your brain out of these, habitual cycles. When you take action, that's when you stop your binge eating. You can be home alone, no urge to binge. You can be at a restaurant, stop eating when you're full. You can have cookies in the house and have one or two and literally just move on with your day. But if you don't have the proper mindset, well, I already had a cookie today. Well, F it, might as well just binge. If you don't have the proper mindset, oh, I'm at the restaurant, so like, well, already messed up, might as well just binge. If you don't have the proper mindset, you'll be home alone and you're going to see this as a perfect opportunity to just eat whatever you want because no one's going to know how much you're eating. You need to master your mind. You can have all the tools in the world. You can know what to do. And that's probably your reality right now. Like, you know a lot of what you need to do to stop your binge eating. But if you don't actually master your mind and believe that you can be somebody who can conquer binge eating, this is when you revert to old habits. This is when you don't binge for a few days or a few weeks and then sabotage by having another binge. So I recognize this. And when I think back to my journey, that was a turning point for me. It was a turning point when I decided, you know what? I am going to believe that I can do this. I am going to show up every single day like I'm going to conquer. And guess what? I did. When I work with my clients and we work on this mindset piece, we shift their beliefs. man, progress transforms so much faster. So this is why at the end of May, I'm going to be running my program called Master Your Mind for a Binge-Free Life, because everyone needs this program more than ever. How to actually master your mind to have a binge-free life. How to actually master your mind to get out of the all or nothing mentality. How to actually master your mind so you can stop self-sabotaging. And by the way, this program is included inside of Conquer. So many of you guys joined Conquer. Conquer gives you access to all of my programs. So if you're inside of Conquer, of course, you get access to this program on how to master your mind. Learning how to master your mind for a binge-free life will change everything for you. It will help you be consistent with your food long-term. You'll get out of the all or nothing mentality, and you won't have to rely on motivation to not binge, because you have complete belief. You have certainty that you are somebody who's not going to binge anymore. You've right now maybe had a few binge-free days, and now you're ready to sustain binge-free weeks, binge-free months, and beyond. Maybe you've gotten lucky and maybe you were home alone, and sometimes you got lucky and maybe you didn't binge. And now you're ready to stop relying on luck. You're ready to stop relying on motivation, and you want to be somebody who doesn't even feel the urge to binge. Whether you're home alone, you're at a restaurant, you have trigger foods around you. Right now, you might have some moments where you're like, yes, I can do this. Maybe it's a Monday, like motivation is super high. Maybe after a binge, you're like, yes, I got this. Maybe even listening to a podcast of mine, you're like, yes, like I'm going to do this. I'm going to conquer binge eating. And you have moments where you believe in yourself, especially when you haven't binged in a really long time. But now you're ready to strengthen your self-belief even more and become that person who no longer binges. This mastering your mind is not about more willpower. It's not about trying harder. It's not about more motivation. It's about releasing all limiting beliefs and you having complete certainty that you can be somebody who can completely transform your relationship with food and no longer binge. And when you become this person, like ending binge eating becomes so much easier when you have the proper mindset. Because you don't let anything or anyone stop you from conquering binge eating. You don't let doubt get in the way. You don't let fear get in the way. You don't let a comment that somebody said to you get in the way. You don't even let diet culture get in the way. You're like, I am going to conquer binge eating, and you take action and you make it happen. The tools that I'm going to teach you inside of this program, Master Your Mind for a Binge-Free Life, they are the reason I'm binge-free today and maintained a binge-free life for 4 years. Knowing what to do is important. You guys hear me say this all the time. You need to know what to do, right? You got to know what to do to stop your binge eating. But many of you guys know, I know I need to not give in to my urges. Oh, I know I need to stop getting into the all or nothing mentality. I know I need to start honoring my cravings, but it's scary and there's fear and there's doubt and there's limiting beliefs. When you shift this, you can have a binge-free life. It will be so much easier for you to stop your binge eating because you are becoming somebody who you're becoming somebody who no longer identifies as a binge eater. And research shows that your identity is the #1 influencing factor about your behaviors with food. And this is why I always say, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are right. When you shift your beliefs and you master your mind, you will conquer binge eating. So if you're inside of Conquer, congratulations, you get access to this program. Of course, if you're in the academy, you get access to it as well too. If you want to join this program, you're like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I need. I know what to do, but sometimes I don't do it, or I know what to do, but I just one more time. I'm just gonna tell myself one more time, or I know I'm sabotaging. Literally, this program is for you. This will change everything for you. If you feel like you've been stuck, you've had a few binge-free days, you've had a few binge-free weeks, and you are ready for a binge-free life, this program is for you. It's happening at the end of May. You can message me, Master Your Mind, and I will send you the link. It's on pre-sale right now because it's not happening until the end of May, but you can join in at the lowest rate. So just message me, Master Your Mind, and I'll give you all the details. I'm so excited. This is going to be one of the most profound programs I have ever run in my entire life. This is what you need. Whether you know it or not, this is exactly what you need to conquer binge eating.